So I'm finally delivering. I'm finally doing
X6,
Mega Man X6.
prepare to die. So this game apparently stinks to high heaven.
Yeah, this game it's not very good. Also, soulless Capcom logo instead of the.
Yeah, what the heck? Why would they change that?
I don't know, just generic.
That
sky.
Like the one that you see in Resident Evil 2. Like, bruh.
So we're gonna watch this keynote opening.
Can you believe that the same company made Resident Evil and Mega Man and Street Fighter at the same time, and now they just don't make any of those games?
Don't they make Street Fighter and Resident Evil still?
Quote unquote games. Oh my god.
So this is actually explaining the X5 plot, so I don't have to explain it. Because I'm not doing another X5 playthrough, because...
Yo, put the metal horns up in chat, son! Put the metal horns up in chat!
I love this JRPG song.
And the space colony was destroyed, but although the Earth was saved, the huge explosion seriously damaged it.
Yeah, so this game's existence has to retcons X5's ending, because X5 ends with Zero dying, like, permanently. And a year passes, and basically Zero's saber is used as a memento for X to carry the torch into the future. And it's obvious that they wanted to end the series of X5, because Inafune wanted to work on the Zero series. But instead of a year later, I think this only takes place like 3 months later.
It said 3 weeks later.
3 weeks later. So, yeah,
I'm in. Hey, you ever hear of The Matrix? I wonder if this came out after 1999. Oh my god, this is epic. This is my band.
One thing I will say about this game, even though I hate this game a lot, the OST is generally pretty good. Now, I do hear people talk about like this OST being their favorite of the entire X series, and it's like,
whoa,
no.
X1, bruh.
No. It's like X1, X2, X4 is better, but this one's pretty good. Alright, let's get started.
Game level, baby.
So... Dash...
interesting.
Turn on auto charge and auto fire. It's not cheating because they're literally in the menu.
Yeah, what? Wait, auto fire, so just literally always charges and fires?
And we're going to keep game speed and game level at normal. Alright, so one thing that I'm doing is that I'm playing with a cheat to give Zero his black armor. What you do is press L1 3 times and R2 once.
And start.
That is the only way that you're going to be able to make me play this game. So
that's fair.
So this game was infamous for having an extremely short development cycle. It was pushed out like less than a year later after X5. And the localization, if you read it, it's broken English.
For this, we should be thankful.
And they didn't even bother to make a dub for this, which I'm fine with. I mean, the dubs in X4 and X5 are garbage.
What is this?
I've never actually watched these cutscenes because you can just skip them.
All I have to say is I can speak Japanese. 1 week later.
Oh wow, he's evil?
That's me. I turned that evil that fast.
1 week.
Yes, man.
God,
yes.
Wow, what an original motive.
Hey, I'm gonna say something that's gonna anger anyone who watches anime. The original Japanese voices are always worse.
I heavily disagree. I'd rather watch a show in a language that I can't understand than listen to extremely subpar voice acting.
Yeah, I mean, obviously if I like spoke Japanese or whatever, but
and it's not just like a thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna play an English game in Japanese because my Japanese is superior. Like, when I play a game, I like to play it in its original source like language. So if I played a French game, I'd probably play it in French.
The only anime, obviously, I ever watched, DBZ, has way better English voices, so that's what I base it off of.
DBZ is like one of the 2 or 3 examples in existence. And it's unfortunate because the Japanese voice acting is sort of good, but they also have an old 90-year-old woman voicing Goku.
Cool.
Like, literally. She has like a perm that a grandma would have.
Oh, so I heard that this game has a lot of story and it's constant. I think AVGN talked about it. Maybe that was Mega Man X5.
That's X5, luckily.
Oh, okay, where like every 5 seconds it's like, hey, Mega Man, hey, Mega Man. Although he also said the same thing about Mega Man Legends, where it's get.
It's like that's the point, though.
That's the.
It's not like they're retrofitting a classic game with story like some of the later X games.
Yeah,
Legends is built ground up.
Yeah,
for it.
For a story. So get out of here, James. For that particular one. So far this game looks like it rules.
Yeah. So appearances are deceiving because the game looks good, and I will say that the controls are good because it's just the same engine as X4 and X5. Like it feels nice to play. And this first level is deceptive. It's kind of boring, but it's really short, and you're just like, what's wrong with this game? But
well,
oh boy.
Oh, got that. Something happened. Here's what you need to know about the story. Maverick's bad. Reploid's good. Right? I got that right? Mavericks are... Or wait, are the Mavericks the bad ones?
The Mavericks are the bad ones.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Pretty sure you said that right. Oh boy, big guy.
I bet
this looks really hard. So when he's in the state, he can't even hurt you.
Cool.
And actually, so there's a battle right after this where I can't win, so I want to kind of just take some damage, but I don't really have any opportunities because literally invincibility frames constantly. Wow.
Gotta love those unwinnable battles. One of my favorite memes in games. You know, when a game has one in the very beginning, it's understandable, but when it has one in the middle of the game, it's so weird.
It also sucks because, like, X is obviously super seasoned, and, like, she's been through 5 games where he saved the world 4 times, or 5 times already. And it's like, oh, new antagonists, look how cool they are and how strong they are.
This is DBZ level, where it's
that
just
was Zero.
The new person that comes in is guaranteed stronger.
It's exactly like DBZ.
Every time anyone knew, look, they're somehow stronger than the last person. I'm this guy. I got a weird head.
Who are you? Hi, Max.
I am called
Zero Nightmare. Dang.
I want to find a Mega Man X fanfiction.
So yeah, if you try to attack this guy, it just doesn't do anything. Oh,
but he's level 1.
Maverick Hunter. Not amazing.
See ya. But me being a bad guy, I will not kill you. Because of reasons. I must go right now and not finish you off. Because things.
Yeah, that is a super trope too.
I like when games and movies like recognize that trope and they're like, ah, this is the time where the bad guy's supposed to say the plot. But then they do it anyway, and it's like, yeah. Who is Isaac? Is that the guy we just saw earlier?
Nope.
Oh. Nightmare.
Wow. Instead of a dream, it's a nightmare.
That was one of those weird phrases where however he said in Japanese was like 10 times shorter than it would be in English.
Yeah.
It was
also,
like, what the yada? And that was the whole thing. It's
the
like,
English
whoa.
translation right there was just so literal, it made no sense at all.
I like languages, especially off the top of my head, like German, where you say like 6 words in English, and in German it's like, ja, hinka, and you're like, what? And it's like, oh, I just said have a good day.
Oh man, 8?
8? Hmm. Hey, here's some trivia for you. How many robot bosses are in the first Mega Man? 8, right? No, dummy, it's 6.
Get BTFO, idiot.
Seriously though, they started out with Mega Man 2 with the whole 8 thing. So, pretty cool, huh? Mega Man 1, I don't even count. I don't even count it as the first in the series. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, Castlevania 1 is a lot like the other ones, but, like, Mega Man 1 is so different. You know? Even Mario Brothers 1 is very similar, but, like, Mega Man 1 is, like, such a black sheep that it's, like...
Yeah, so this is kind of funny. For whatever reason, I just decided to rewatch my Mega Man 8 playthrough that we have on this channel.
Yeet.
And literally, this exact conversation came up. And it was with me, you, Ben, and Nick. And, like, they were so adamant of being so different that you shouldn't even compare it. And I was like, I don't know about that train of thought.
Oh, wait, they said that?
Yeah. I understand that it's super different, but, like, you can still compare it to the other games.
It's very different.
It's a basis.
Yes, it's very different, but I will say that you can compare it.
It's like saying you can't compare Castlevania 1 to Castlevania 2. I don't know, you still can compare them.
Yeah.
They're just different.
Imagine if Castlevania 2 was the first one. Like, if the very first game was Simon's Quest, and then Castlevania came out next. You know what I mean? It'd be like, what? That's kind of how in a weird way, how I feel about the original Mega Man. That's funny. Well, all good, and of course Ben would have to have the exact opposite opinion as me. Like, whatever it is. Unless it's about Doom and I say positive things about Doom, he would have to have the opposite opinion. This is good. This is story.
Yeah, the story is long. And they're just talking about, hey, this nightmare exists, and it looks like Zero for some reason. And the Maverick Hunters are powerless because I say so. Is this really necessary?
Man, I'm about to say skip it. I'm like real close.
It's probably super close.
So, question of the part. What's your favorite Mega Man game? Post below. And tell us, in words or symbols. And who's Cygnus? Tell us that below too.
Cygnus and the other girl, Alia, I think her name is, are all characters introduced in X5. They don't do anything. Alia has sort of a connection with Gate, but it's very generic and doesn't matter.
That Alias girl is like the first person to help Mega Man back at home base that isn't instantly like, I have betrayed you. Like in like one game. Every other game has its like, hey, I'm gonna be your helper. By the way, I betrayed you. I was a Maverick all along. Haha, idiot. That was speedrun strats there. I was like, ding.
So, we have a couple objectives to do right away. First, we want to unlock Zero, because he is way better than X in this game.
Brady turd Lloyd.
So, what you have to do is you have to find these hidden teleporters that transport you to another area where you'll fight the Zero Nightmare.
So, unlike X4, you can't just be like, I want to play as Zero.
No.
But you do start out as X very strong.
Yeah, but X5 also does this, and this game is complete garbage. Like, you need this. Okay, so this first area in this. So this is Acid Rain, and it will do damage against you. So what you have to do is find these little things and destroy them before you die from Acid Rain. Boy, does that sound fun?
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's like all these people you have to rescue.
Yeah, they introduced this in X5. So I want to save as many as I can, mostly because some of them can drop really good items. And there's a reason why I'm doing this stage first, because you unlock the Hyper Dash from one of the guys from the Nightmare area. So a lot of them don't give anything at all, but they do give lives and health refills. So basically, because like basically all of them give health refills, or lives, you're gonna have like max lives in like a second.
Oh wow, you're already at 6.
But I mean, the first time you play this game, you're going to need every single last one of those. Alright, so we have Acid Rain, we have Bottomless Pits, we have bats that drop bombs on you. You have these things that are basically auto-scrollers. You have this section where you have to jump around and do this. You have to save this guy by doing that. Like, this game is just a train wreck.
Hey, it's like... You know what this is? If they had a Mega Man Maker, like a Mario Maker, this is what someone would make.
It really feels like it. I mean, just look at the level design. It's just a whole bunch of blocks that are just out in the open doing nothing. I think there's a Reploid that you can save, but is in the most awkward spot in the world.
That one?
No, thank you. I'm not saving that one. I don't think it actually gives anything either.
How are you supposed to get it? Do you get like a thing later that allows you to like specifically dash longer?
Zero does have the double jump, but X also has the air dash, which you could possibly do, but the problem is that when you're getting a health refill, you can't input anything, like any command. Alright, so this is where I have to... Oh god, I'm gonna die. Good start.
Ooh, that music.
Alright, so what I want to do is go to that bottom left area and damage boost through those spikes. Okay, cool.
So, what are you supposed to do if you don't damage boost?
You're supposed to come back there with, like, an extra armor upgrade or something else. So,
You know what I wish this had, because this music sounds kind of killer, is not this constant sound of rain.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I also would like the rain not to hurt me. That'd be cool, too.
Is it like... Oh yeah, I see. It's like taking a little bit at a time.
Yeah, so I really want to do this on the first try because all these Reploids give you a health refill, but they don't come back. Oh, good save. It's just like...
Everything's everywhere.
Yeah. It's never ending.
What's max lives? 9?
I don't even know why they have a second thing.
Good
right
old.
there.
You know what that reminds me of? This is like really random, but on like comics, especially Marvel, they'll put like a new series will start, and they'll put 3 digits, even if it's like a one-shot. Like, I remember we got this one-shot, and I was like, oh, this series looks like it's going to be interesting. It was in some Star Wars thing, and it was like 001, and I'm like, dang. And I looked it up, and it was like, one-shot, and it's like, why don't you just put on it one-shot somewhere? Why do you have to put 001, like, hey, this series could go on a long time, you know?
Dude, come on. This is... The beginning of this game is the hardest. Oh. Alright, so I want to go back up and get a heal.
Oh. My god. At least the beginning of the game is the hardest part, and it's not like halfway through or whatever. That's nice. Get out of the way.
This entire game is just really hard. It's just all this level design. The reason I'm not shooting those big robot enemies is that when they have their arms up, you can't even attack them. So yeah, that's fair. And like, you're on a time limit because this acid rain hurts you. But it's...
And you have to stop that acid rain to go through, I'm guessing.
You have to deactivate the shield barrier thing, whatever it is. Alright, so we have good old Nightmare Zero. Where is Zero? Where is my Zero? Alright, so he's weak to the saber that you have. And this fight is the apex of just damage boosting and hoping you don't die first.
Seems like you barely did. Zero, no!
So, we're gonna watch this entire cutscene because this is the stupidest thing in the world.
My body is ready.
Whoa, it's Zero! That's my voice.
Ah! Zero-san?
So X is alive, is he?
Zero-kun!
Seems Sigma didn't defeat me after all, huh? I don't know, at the end of X5 you looked pretty dead. You were just a torso and one arm and a gigantic hole through your chest.
Wait, he's saying that he went and found his parts again? Wasn't that the whole plot of, like, X3?
He said he tried to find the parts, but he wasn't able to.
Oh.
And now he explains it away by saying he hid himself while I tried to repair myself. Yeah, that makes sense. He hid himself as a torso.
I had to wait 3 whole weeks.
It's like the stupidest reason in the world to bring Zero back.
The Nightmare TM.
And like you would think that defeating the Zero Nightmare would be like, it would matter for him to come back. Maybe it's like some sort of connotation, but no, it's just coincidence that Zero's showing up. This is what the cutscene's saying.
This is literally the scene from Predator right now.
Yeah.
Zero! You son of a gun! My heart is warm now. Feels good, man. You found it.
Alright, good. I'm glad I actually remembered to grab the hyper dash.
Wow, so each one of those has a chance of giving you some like random like
I don't think it's RNG. I think it is a set drop, but I don't really know what exactly it is. The only thing I looked up is how to get hyper dash. Alright, so I think we'll do...
But wait, you didn't kill the boss.
Yeah, when you go to those secondary areas, you fight the secondary boss, but you never defeat the main boss.
Wow.
So we're gonna have to go back and do that awful level again.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is why my original route was doing one where you get to one of those nightmare transporters really fast, but hyper dash is really, really good. So I wanted to get that immediately.
Do you have to equip it, or does it just do it?
You do equip it. The unfortunate thing is that you need to increase your hunter rank. Oh, cool. So you increase your hunter rank by collecting nightmare souls, which is what those they're guys that are flying around. We'll probably see one in a second. Oh, by the way, this level design, just invisible platforms. Isn't that fun?
Thanks. Hey, thanks.
You know, I was wondering why this game looks so weird. Do you have the remote? I was like, why does it look so scrunched?
Wait, is there a difference?
It was a little scrunched. It was like artifacting on the sides.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter too.
Trevor just changed on the TV. I had like the pixel shape like wrong, so it's slightly bigger now.
All right, so like I said, I'm playing as Black Zero. The big 3 things that he gets from this is he gets double defense, his saber's a little bit stronger, and he gets knockback resistance. So the things I really care about are the double defense and the knockback resistance. So right here, you can either do the pink door or the blue door. The pink door actually just takes you immediately to the boss, which is pretty nice.
Nice!
The blue door takes you to the nightmare zone and is very long with a lot of those light puzzles. We might do it later. I might just skip it and do it off screen.
So every...
Kind of depends on how long this takes.
Every stage has a nightmare zone then?
Yeah.
And to beat the game, you gotta do both?
No.
No. Oh my god.
Yeah, so this fight is nothing compared to what Zero can do. Because this game is completely broken, and the reason why we're doing this boss first is for the most broken power-up in the game. And, oh boy.
So this game gets easy or no?
There's nothing you can do about the level design in this game. Like, you're just gonna die to the level design, but I do shred through bosses in a literal second.
Yee. Yeah, I was gonna say, and is that just because it's Zero or because it's Black Suit Zero or whatever?
Zero in general is really strong. The increased damage actually does not matter that much, and you'll see why once we get to the next boss. Alright, unfortunately we're gonna have to do that stupid acid rain level again.
Let's do it.
Because it also gives you the second most broken thing in the game.
I am Isaac.
Wow. This guy and Gate are connected? Who would have guessed?
I think Gate might be a little evil. You can tell because he's frowning. And you can tell the other guy's evil because all of his eyes are red. Oh, it's a high max.
I'm sure this is not going to end with Gate's defeat at all. I'm not interested in this character that's really strong. Because I have high max.
Isaac, stop being a little baby. Gotta get movie lights in here for this epic movie.
Wow, they achieved 99.98%. That's pretty high.
I suppose. Cool. So,
man, I'm super...
What I gather is Gate and Isaac are good.
So, these red icons over the boss things means the nightmare effect is affecting the zone.
Ooh, that's cool.
There is a chance that we're going to get the worst effect in the game. And I really hope it actually happens to show you how unplayable this game is.
So the red randomly happens? Or it only happens after you beat the level? I don't quite understand.
Like, what ones it picks, it just seems like it's random. I mean, I've played through these 8 Maverick stages like 4 times now.
So it's like 2 at random, or it's just like very random?
What's the difference?
Well, no, I'm saying, like, is it always 2 levels are always like red, or is it?
It seems like it's 2.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention to how many.
No, and I was just curious.
All right, so we'll see when we get to the acid rain part. Oh, okay. So the reason why we got guard shell first. So you look at this and you're like, it doesn't look like much. It's just like a little shield that is in front of Zero. So this thing makes Zero's hits activate every single frame.
Oh.
And you can just tell that this game wasn't play-tested because it's not a glitch. I'm just using the power-up. But now, like, look at this.
So, are you gonna kill... Oh, I guess bosses could have iframes.
Oh, so the nightmare effect I thought was gonna happen didn't happen, which I'm thankful for, but I really wish I could have shown it. It makes the screen go at least 60% black. And there's lights that strobe back and forth. And I'm not kidding, just telling you how terrible it is.
So it's almost like... Not quite the same thing, but it's the general idea of, like Eternal Darkness, where it's, like, messing with you.
I guess so. But unlike Eternal Darkness, this game
is bad. That should be your next game, by the way. I could be ready for that comfy mode.
Dude, I have to beat the game, like, 3 times again, because I probably don't have the save file anywhere.
I think you can skip cutscenes?
Yeah. A good thing the game's not very long,
Hello, I'm a bat. My sole purpose in life is to carry bombs and drop them on you. Thank you. What are those after images?
Yeah, that's a nightmare effect that they... It's random which one it chooses. But that one's pretty tame.
You'll never have 100%.
I just don't care. A lot of them don't give anything anyway.
So you'd only save someone's life if they're like, here's an item, bruh.
Yes.
I like how there's 1/2 of a second of clarity, and then it's like, oh, hey. You know, we're back. Acid Rain is back 1 second later. Do you have to hold a button while doing that for the...
No, it's always active. Really. The unfortunate thing is that the rules of when it appears and when it stays is really weird. I understand why it disappears. It's either you go through a door or you like deactivate this portal. Anything that affects your state. But there's sometimes when like you're doing like a boss or like you're in a room and you try so hard to activate that guard shell and it just does not come out. And I do not understand why. I don't know if it's like sprite limitations or just bad coding. But there's some bosses here. Luckily for this boss, we can use it. And this boss is going to melt.
I've heard about you.
Words.
Me. Oh my god.
So a lot of bosses. The nice thing about this, because every boss you can kill in a couple hits, you can do these bosses in basically any order you want.
Yeah, because you're like never going to be using their...
I think I came up with a good route, but I do have to return to... I already had to return to this one, but you already have to do that anyway. And I think I returned to one other one, but I forget.
It seems like this would definitely be the speed strat, too. I'm certain in some way. Because if you can kill a boss that fast.
Alright, next stage I want to do is... I guess I'll do Community Mark.
Wait, this one has, Nightmare?
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm pretty sure that this one can also be affected by that, Blackout one. The rest of them aren't too bad. There's a lot of...
lame this thing is.
I think it's okay. A lot of the Nightmare effects can be pretty unsubstantial, like the one where the 0 or X after images attack you. There's ones that like spawn like just random metal bricks that like move back and forth. It's really odd if you see it. But the worst one by far is the one where you can't see anything.
Stage.
Alright, so the move that we just got was this. And you look at it and you're just like, why is this broken? But let me show you. So if you're I don't think I did it right. So if you interrupt that animation in the middle of it, check this out. I'm invulnerable to all damage now.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's why I want to play as 0.
For how long?
Until anything that like would normally affect the shield thing. So it deactivated right now because I'm in a cutscene. Or if I walk through a door. And unfortunately, you do need to interrupt the animation, which isn't the easiest thing in the world. So luckily, those enemies like curl up into a ball and you can stand on them. But there's some levels where there's just nothing like that, so you can't use it for every level. But the levels that you can, it's pretty nice. Dang it, I forgot to equip the... Oh well.
Can I just say that Dr. Light is the smartest guy of all time? He knew to put those like capsule things or whatever literally in 6 different worlds, like through six different games. He's like, I've been dead since before X1, but here's my teleporter thing.
Yeah, like the
X6.
first game it made sense, because, I mean, it could happen. Like, X could wake up in 100 years and need help. But, like, it happening over and over, you're just like, okay, you can come up with something new. It doesn't have to be Dr. Light, it could be random scientist.
But does it have to be Dr. Light? I feel like it does.
I guess so. I don't know.
No, just because of, like, name recognition.
Yeah.
So what's the nightmare thing for this? Or did we not see it yet?
I don't know. It might be this wind. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like there's anything. But there is, like, a effect where I'm going slower going forward because the wind and the rain.
Oh, thanks. You know what all these Reploids say when you rescue them? Thank you for rescuing me.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to come back to the stage because there is a sub-tank, but I needed to equip the Hyper Dash. I just forgot to.
That face in the background is my face right now while playing this game.
Okay, so you know that thing I was talking about the shield not showing up at random?
Yeah.
This is one of these fights. And I'm going to be mad if it proves me wrong, but I've tried every single time that this boss exists. Yeah, it just doesn't show up.
Huh.
Why? I don't know. Is it because the sprites on the screen because of his thing? It doesn't matter because he's literally the easiest boss in the game. Like, even if you're playing as X.
Some of these have, like, very small life bars, too.
Yeah. They try to make it, like, a little bit more realistic because the big guy had a huge life bar, but it doesn't really work out that way.
I mean, I understand the realism, but, like, for years and years and years and games, they had it where just everyone had the same level, like, you know, life bar. I guess those times are a change in X6. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Alright, so push L1, equip Hyper Dash, maybe equip something else.
Wait, this whole time you haven't had Hyper Dash?
No. You'll see how fast I go with it on. Luckily, the sub-tank's pretty quick, so it won't take too long to do this.
I am excited. Are you doing like 100% run or like...
I'm not doing 100%.
Relatively 100%?
I'll probably, what I'll do is, because I'm doing this in 2 sittings, I'm doing the 8 Mavericks now. Yeah, this is how fast I go. Doing the 8 Mavericks now, and then probably off screen I'll get everything that I miss, and then show off the, like, X's armors, which honestly are not super interesting. But I'll do it anyway.
Oh, you needed the hyper for that. See ya! I think... I don't know.
Whoa, that gives a full recovery too? That's awesome.
What?
That's something that you can equip. I don't have enough slots to equip it now, but that's a free full heal each once per life, I think. Alright, so I guess I'll do...
This thing with the mustache.
This is a... Oh, what are they called? What's the beetles that roll around their own crap?
Dung beetle?
Dung beetle, yeah, it's literally a dung beetle. Brown Scaravitch.
Cool. I mean, they're pretty strong for beetles, for what it's worth.
Yeah, it like rolls around like a big pile of... It looks like... It's supposed to look like this metal scrap, but it just looks like crap. Alright, so this level... this level is the weirdest level of all time. So, each one of these portals, it's completely RNG which one I get transported to. And I swear there's like at least 12 of these, so there's probably some ones I haven't even seen before. No! If you let those nightmares touch the Reploids that need help, they get transformed, and they're permanently lost. So, for example, if I let the Reploid that had Hyper Dash get killed, I would have never had Hyper Dash.
Cool. It's like the Natural History Museum.
Alright, and I really hope this happens, but there's some level layouts that I don't know how you get past them. It's like an immediate death. So hopefully that happens. But first of all, just look at this level. Like, random stuff's appearing out of nowhere. This level design is nonsensical. There's these nightmare things that just float all over the place and shoot stuff at you. Like, this isn't level design, it's just random stuff. Alright, so got a pretty easy one.
Yeah, I mean, pretty clearly they had to get this out.
I just don't understand why, like, I get that this game was rushed, but, like, why does rush development mean that the level design is just trash broken? Like, these guys have worked on these games like so much. Like, why does it mean that the level design has to be just horrendous?
I want to see one of the broken ones.
I don't think this is one either.
Yeah, this is just like, I don't know. It exists. It was like a place where you go to the right and it was the same thing over and over again.
Alright, there's one left.
So what's the symbolism of this thing?
What, like the totem pole or
Yeah.
like the place? I don't know. Just random crap. Yeah, unfortunately, man, this game is making me look like I don't have any problem. Well, I mean, all the level design so far has been terrible, but there's literally some no-win scenarios. Oh, that was my fault. If you push just left on the D-pad while you're in there, you will dash or double tap it.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah, once it's set, it's the same thing every time. But it does seem like sometimes the arrangements get altered for some of them, because there's some of them that have those no-win scenarios where there's like a bottomless pit that's way too far to be able to dash over, and like you'll go back in there and then there's a floor suddenly and you're like, oh, okay. And it's not like there's a mechanic where like platforms disappear, because there isn't. Alright, so there's another one of these nightmare things, but we're not going to go into it right now. I'm just gonna die.
No, Reploid!
Could have been the one. I don't even know what other power effects exist that are actually good.
Oh, I see. You're supposed to hang on those.
Yeah, but no thanks. Like, that is the least fun thing in the world. So, I think this is another boss where I just cannot use the shield item for whatever reason. So, I'm gonna try again, but... Oh, okay. It just worked this time. I'm fine with it, though. Can't even attack him. It's too fast for me.
What does this boss do? Just this the whole time?
If you break the small guy... But yeah, that boss is just really weird.
If attack wasn't too much, it was just like, here's a bigger ball, bro. Oh yeah, that particle 3D
Yeah, like
effects.
if you're not playing as Zero, like, X doesn't really ever get a double jump. He gets an armor that has an upwards dash, but it's also really quick and really isn't a double jump, kind of.